So on to the next install here, and it is the upper control arm for the rear end. These cars only have 3. There's 2 on the bottom on the outside and 1 in the center on the top. This is called an anti-hop bracket, and what it does is stop the rear end from kind of bouncing when you launch hard or when you're, driving like an idiot. So oddly enough, the way to start this install is from right here inside of the car. We need to pull the bottom of the seat off. There's 1 bolt right here in between the 2 seatbelt receivers. We need to pull that off, and then we can go underneath the car and get to the rest. So to pull the back seat out, there's a clip right here. Stick your finger in, and you just push right there. And same thing on this side. There you go. And now you can just pull the bottom of the seat right out. All right, so we're back. We have our brought a 19 and an 18 just in case, and it's an 18. Okay, so now with that bolt out, we can get the car back up in the air. If you don't have a hoist, you can use jack stands. For us, we're going to put it up on the hoist so we can get a better view for you. Let's jump under the car. All right, so we got the inside bolt out. Now if you look straight up, I'll just throw the socket way up here, straight up beside the diff housing. There's 1 on each side here. Those are the same 18mm socket, and I just have it on my impact gun, so let's rip these out. Here you go, so there's 1. We're going to take the same out of the other side here. All right, so now that we have this one out on this side, and this one we just cracked loose on the driver's side, we're going to go ahead and pull the other bolt up here in the top of the axle housing. There you go. So that one's out. Now we can swap back to our long extension, and we are going to pull out the one that goes up through the floor. Okay, here we go. So now with the bolts and the nuts off, so now we're going to reach up, and we need to get this bolt out that goes left to right through the car. We have just a little bit of weight on a jack. So let me grab a nice hammer, and we'll just see if we can tap that thing and loosen it up. What I'm going to do is set the punch in to push the bolt out. Okay, let's see if we can jiggle it out of there now. Nope, not yet. So I'm going to grab just a smaller punch. The last one I had was just a little bit too big. Okay, so that one's out. Now we can reach our hand up here, and we should be able to wiggle this mount out. Now, it is going to be a little difficult, so you can take one of the exhaust over axle pipes off, but we like hard jobs, making things as hard as we can. So we're going to try and fish it out without removing all that stuff. I gotta lower this just a little bit. Here we go. All right. Well, looks like we're doing this just in time. You can see all the cracks in the bushing there from it being pretty old. So now with all the added suspension and everything, probably not the worst idea we've ever had. Let me grab the new one. So here's the new one. Let's grab the old one here. You can see that this one is just real thin, crappy sheet metal. This one's like 1/4 inch plate. And then we have a poly bushing here that is greasable. So I bought this one used, just on classifieds around here. So yeah, save a little bit of money where we can and go. Now this one has 2 holes in it, so it makes me believe that it's a BMR, and our bolt is in the lower hole, which, if I remember correctly, could be wrong, so don't roast me on it, but I believe that is for drag racing. So we're going to want to take this bolt out, move it to the upper hole, and that's for more like road racing style, which is what we plan to do with the car. So let's go and zip this bolt out and put it in the top hole and put it back in. All right, so we move that thing up to the top hole there, as you can see, and we have this bolt loose. The reason we have it loose is exaggerated, but let's say you tighten it up and it's like this. When you put the weight on the car and this thing folds up flat like that, you're gonna have a big twist in that poly bushing there, which is gonna lead to premature wear. So what you wanna do is put it in the car kind of loose and then torque it once it's up there in the car. So we're going to slide this one back in place. We'll start with the cross bolt here, get that one in through the rear end, and then we'll move and just finger tight these. We'll move up, finger tight this, and then we'll come back and we'll just work from the back to the front and torque everything up. Now what we're going to do is take a little dab of Loctite. I'm going to put a little dab of Loctite on the nut and jam her home. And then same thing, I'm going to take out the 2 that go up into the floor right now that are just kind of sitting in there, and we're going to Loctite them, throw them back up, and then we're going to go do the one from the inside down, and then we'll come back and torque everything from front to back to make sure we don't miss anything. So there you go. We got the bolt on the inside now. The only thing left to do would be put the seat back in and click it into those 2 clips. That's as far as we're gonna go tonight. We have some other stuff we're gonna end up doing, so have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, that's how you put an anti-hop bracket in. Have a good one.